but welcome. Somehow, this has happened a couple weeks ago once, where I went to start my live from a pre scheduled live link. And when I got in, it didn't look right. And I can't get back in, I can't open it up to just be with you on the live. So I do not know what happened. It did some screen capture thing and I couldn't get out of it. And then when I tried to like back up to it never looked normal. And that's happened a couple weeks ago once. So I'm sorry, I'm wiggling the phone a lot right now, trying to figure this out. But thank you for finding me again. Hi, Iris. I don't know what just happened. Um, that's when twice this has happened in the last few months. When I went to start the live, I had it pre-scheduled from, a few days ago, and I hit the button to just start it. I don't know what it said something about it being on screen capture or something, but I didn't like touch any extra buttons. So I don't know what that was all about, but here I am. In spite of that, here I am again. So I'm glad you guys are finding me because I feel really bad. We had that nice little link all set up that we were able to share on YouTube, which to me made it kind of simple, easier, something, whatever. I am having a cup of coffee with, and it's not the good mold-free stuff yet, but I am having a cup of coffee with protein powder in it this morning. Makes a good coffee creamer. Okay, well, with all of that, good morning. Let's see who's all here. Iris, Mary, Beth, um, B on the road. That's B is Bonnie, I think. Hi, Kenneth. Um, Sunny, good morning. How are you? Welcome. I apologize for whatever happened this morning. I'll have to go edit this and remove the other thing for whatever happened. No, it's just as, yeah, it's just so annoying when I did have software updates today, but it's annoying when I don't know what happened and how to make it not do that, how to get back to where I was, and not being on a computer sometimes. I don't want to use that for an excuse anymore, but sometimes I've thought that it was because I wasn't on a computer that it was having the issues, but I can't guarantee any of that. So, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, so this is, wow, November. I forgot the date. November. Yes, I have my finger up here. Oh, and it won't tell me the date. November 26, 2023. Welcome. It's been Thanksgiving week. I hope you all had a wonderful week doing whatever you do for Thanksgiving. I was, yes, here still in Nevada. The Nevada Saga continues a few more days. I think I get to leave on Wednesday. I think, I pray, cross everything, whatever I need to do, because I'm supposed to, let's see, we are waiting for one part for the blue car so that I can drive away. And the one part's an alternator, so it's kind of important. I believe it's supposed to be here Monday. If that goes well, I need to go try putting gas in the gas tank one more time before I actually drive too far away. Um, Part of the reason for that is at one, you can hear me okay, right? Somebody let me know that you can hear me okay. Hi, Donna. Good morning. And yes, Sundays is a casual, raw live video. Hi, Jeremy. Chat from wherever I am. Sometimes I'm having my coffee. Some people don't like that it's so casual, but you know what? You either like it or you don't. This is not a podcast. This is not a regular video. So we just get to visit. And I try to keep an eye on. My phone is about an arm and a half's length away from me right now this morning. And what I'm doing is I can see basically, I can't see real clearly the little font of the chat, but I can see you guys talking to each other on the bottom. I can make out a lot of the names and things. I watch for the three uppercase Q's, which tags me that you're asking me a question. And when I see one of those, then I'll lean in and I'll read it and then I can, like, whatever. Um, so, cold and snowflake. Oh, hi, Catherine. Yeah. Um, I guess at my property in Apache County, I guess they got an inch and a half of snow, and that for the new people who are in my area, it seems on Facebook they were making a lot of noise about how they don't know how to drive in the snow, mud, dirt road situations, which is always a hassle for the new people. I've been camping or dealing with that general area where my property is for 12 years now. I don't have any trouble up there. I just make sure that certain times I will wait until it all dries out and the newbies stop tearing the road up. And then I'll go out and I know how to drive a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive. But I prefer to get a four-wheel drive vehicle that has a little ground clearance because it helps when new people, especially. I can joke about one guy who came out years ago. He was basically from Florida, a cowboy style person, kind of rancher style person. And he had bought himself a new Ford four-wheel drive, probably diesel pickup or something. I don't know if it was diesel or not. And the first year he's like, "Oh, I'll get in, I'll get to anybody," and he kept getting his truck stuck. Well, when he gets truck stuck, he digs his wheels down in, and then some of us with two-wheel drives were kind of upset with him for digging the road up. But I can't, I can't teach people what they don't know about these roads. And I'm not the only one that knows about these roads. There's plenty of people out there that have been there way longer than me. But you have to drive carefully on clay and sand roads, especially when they get wetter, they get icy or whatever. But because they don't freeze completely, so often it might look like what you're used to in another place that would be frozen. And because it has snow, you think it's frozen underneath, and it's not. It might be 2.5 feet of mud under the snow. So it's a thing. So yeah, ask me your questions with the uppercase Q's. I'll keep watching for them. Let me look down here. Oh, 20 in Prescott Valley. There you go. It is cold here. I think I saw that it was either 8 degrees or 11 degrees when I woke up this morning. So it's cold here. There's ice. No, I am not sleeping in the tracker now. Once it got below 18 degrees, the family and I agreed, and I came in the house and they set me up a cot in the corner of the living room, and I brought in my lawn chair, and I'm able to sleep in the house where it's warmer because I don't have the ability, I don't have a way to keep myself warm enough in that situation, especially having MS as well. So, mm, um, let's see. I just saw some of you guys comments quickly here. Looks like let's see, Iris I think was in St. John's recently and visited, was at the shop to get Jeremy to help with some stuff. I hope that went well. I hope your van's doing well. Rockin' Van Life, hey, good. I hope you all doing good. Yeah, please like, subscribe, all those things that you guys already have. Um, we have on my YouTube channel, we have over 6,000 subscribers. Um, I I didn't know I'd get excited over numbers, but years and years ago, I thought it was weird that I never got many subscribers when Bob would show off my stuff. And then, but let me tell you, Tristan with SUVRV, and when he did the interviews with me, I think his new interview with me that he did last winter, we filmed it last winter, but he put it out a couple months ago. I think he's got 175,000 views or something like that on that one video. We've gotten a lot of traffic from there. That's wonderful. I'm glad to get some extra people coming out. Um, it looks like my Amazon store. I know I need to do some computer work, and I did not build my own website. Somebody did that for me, and I don't have admin access to my own SimplyLesa.com. I don't have that. So my Amazon store is not pretty and all of that. I'd like to work on that soon. I'll have time once I'm by myself again. Um, and then uh, um, yeah, because I'd like to organize some of that stuff a little better because, there's the health side of my life, there's the overland and vehicle dependent travel side of my life, and then there's the international side of my life, and then there's like the off grid and cabin stuff. And so I'd kind of like to, get a little more organization to some of those things because when y'all are looking for the fold up lightweight grill that I have because you want to have one for in your car, it's hard for you to find it when it's mixed in with, some protein powder recommendation or something. I see questions. Be on the road, camped at 47 over the holiday, and the hardest part was changing out of PJs in the cold morning. Any ideas? Yes, absolutely. I have two really great ideas. Now it depends. Now, B, you're Bonnie, right? It depends on your vehicle and your some. Okay, how do I go at this? So I think like a motorcycle camper. I think like an ultra lightweight long distance hiker. And I research these things. And the same thing for people who live on tiny boats out in the ocean and stuff like that. So I get lots of ideas from places like that. Um, oh, thank you so much, Donna. Um, yeah, Donna, uh, there's probably 7 interviews I've done with Bob. So um, I don't know all the names of them, but there's about 7. And I'm going to do an interruptive thing and step really close to y'all. Okay. This family doesn't like spiders, and there was a spider climbing behind the phone, so I had to get rid of it. Okay, that's done. Um, so Bonnie, here's some things to think about with changing pajamas. Do you need to wear pajamas? First off, that's one quick answer, right? Because like long distance hikers, their pajamas and their clothes look like the same thing. So, one key thing that I do is my pajamas don't look like pajamas. They're not like fuzzy, cutesy, whatever. They're leggings. They might even be fuzzier leggings. But I'm the only one that knows whether I put on pajamas or or something to sleep in, or I actually am still wearing the same clothes from yesterday or whatever. So there's that side. You can go that direction. There's also, okay, fake 14, 15, $20, however much they cost now. Fake UGG boots from Walmart, wonderful. Especially if you've got a, okay, so like for me with SUV living, which is my preferred over vans and other things, maybe if I was going at it and I needed a bigger vehicle, I would probably go with a pickup truck with something in the back. Anyway, or a different, if I needed something different, I'd probably be via pickup truck kind of thing. But um, Fake Ugg boots, cheap ones, don't spend too much money because the first time you get them wet and muddy, they start looking really trashy. You're gonna want to throw them away and get a different pair just because they look bad. So I don't spend a lot of money on fake Ugg boots, but they make great slippers. And even if you're sleeping barefoot in your vehicle, if you need to get out to like go pee in the middle of the night or whatever, you slip those on. Your feet don't get cold. You don't have to put on socks. You just slip them on and get out and go do your thing. Come back, pull them off. Make sure you got a spot to stick them. If you don't have here's a couple of ideas for spots to stick the dirty or cold shoes that you just use to go to the bathroom. One is a shopping bag that you're able to hang on something inside the car or put, on the driver's. In the case of my little SUV, sometimes I just put one. I could hang it off of my automatic stick shift with one loop and just let it hang down in the floorboards where of the driver's seat. And I can just stick the shoes in that, and it only gets the dirty stuff is in there, but it's hanging in that space. There's another thing. The Luno company has made a magnetic bag that hangs on the outside of your car if your car is not plastic. That's a nice bag. It has vent holes in it, so if you have hiking boots or messy things, and then you don't get critters in them like scorpions or something climbing in your shoe in the middle of the night. So there are these shoe bags. Rooftop tent companies make bags that hang with clips and things off of the rooftop tents. Sometimes you can maneuver them to hang off your roof rack, like over the side of the car. All those things are great ideas. If you have a box that acts as the step to get in your vehicle, maybe that box could be your shoe box. Those are all ideas for those kinds of things. But change it into pajamas. Um, if you have one of the bathroom tents like overlanders have that is mounted to the side of your roof rack and you're able to unzip it, open your door into that space, you can get out into that space to do what you need to do. That's a little easier. Um, Pajamas. I'm trying to think. So choose whether you're going to switch into pajamas or not. Choose whether your pajamas look like clothes so you don't care. Uh, you know, let I want to see what the question was exactly too, so that I'm actually getting you. Let's see, camped at. Hardest part was changing out even in the cold morning. Yeah, or just wait longer. I like early morning campfires when I'm with other people. I'm the one who wants to make the hot coffee on the campfire in the morning, and so I often won't change out of my sleep clothes or pajamas if I wear them. I won't change out of them until like about 10 or 11 in the morning. Um, but it depends on you and your lifestyle a little bit. So I hope I'm giving you stuff that's helpful. I know it's different from some viewpoints, but think about how, now most people who are like on motorcycles either have a tent or something with them. They don't always. Some of them only have a bivy tent, and so they screw them into their clothes or whatever, or they drive to a bathroom. So there's a number of different ways. Personally, I don't own technically separate pajamas. I am thinking about buying a set of actual pajamas for the cabin, but it's kind of only because it would be kind of nice, but I don't care. Um, my winter base layer, like long john leggings, are uh, fleece lined, not fleece. Well, they're fuzzy on the inside and they're thick. And they make great pajamas, but I don't really need to be wearing that warm a thing at night often. So sometimes I'm only wearing my shorts, but I do a thing with my shirts now. I like to sit up in the morning inside my vehicle until I'm more awake and I'll sit up and my back and my shoulders will start to get cold. So I will, um, I'm being a little distracted by somebody who knows that they're not supposed to be on my camera, right close to me, the 4-year old. She's decided that she's trying to do things right beside my elbow. So I'm trying to not get too distracted. But so my all my bottoms are black. It's because I found that it was the cheapest, that I could keep a color together, even though it wasn't always my favorite color. Wasn't always a black thing, but it works. It's cheap. You can match black with other blacks with and other colors pretty simply. So my all my bottoms, shorts, everything, they're all black. It just makes it simpler. And so that one pair is fuzzier. But in the mornings, I often will have a couple of my shirts that I leave underneath my pillow in my sleeping bag, so that when I wake up and I want to sit up, I can easily switch my bra and my, yeah, sorry people, but TMI or whatever, but I can pull things off real quick, for for only freezy for a few minutes, but because they've been under my pillow, they're warmer. Or you stuff them down in your sleeping bag and they stay warmer that way. And then I can just change my shirts real quick, so the top half of me is already dressed when I'm getting ready to get out. Well, I'm getting ready to like get out and either start the fire or whatever and go to the bathroom. When after I finish the bathroom thing or start my fire and get my hot water started, then I'm thinking about changing the bottom half of things. So it sounds like a lot, but I've been dealing with a really tiny space for a long time because I prefer it. Because for my health, I'm healthier when I live outside in the outdoors in nature. 90% of the time, that's healthier for my specific things. Okay, going back up to see your messages because I've been seeing scrolling, y'all talking to each other. That's wonderful. So, um, okay, let's go back up here. There, I had seen that. Beth Donna. Oh, that's nice. You're doing Christmas decorations. Okay. Now, some of you know I don't keep Christmas. I don't care what y'all do. Talk about it if you want to. That doesn't, what you do, you do you. That's the way it's supposed to work. But just FYI, I don't. And so you don't see me doing those things. But, whatever you're doing. But I do know, I always thought that Christmas decorations were pretty. I grew up in New England and the town would get all the lights put on and stuff, and it would be really cool. And I used to like to watch 101 Dalmatians and whatever else. Um, so I've seen people and I've helped people do their Christmas decorations in their vehicles and get little tiny, dollar store, toy stores, but get mini trees, mini things, and make little winter scenes for their dashboard. But you put them in a safe, careful way. Attach them with museum putty so that they don't, fall over when you're driving and stuff like that. But yeah, number of interviews. Uh, Thanks, Kenneth. Puppies and kitties help. Yeah. I'm an old backpacker. I try to stay living as if I'm hiking all the time. Uh, yeah, see, that's the way I think too. And I do prefer, okay, TMI, right? But I'm out here, and sometimes y'all need the extra thought process. And if we were around a campfire, I probably wouldn't put all these disclaimers before I say something. But uh, I I prefer sleeping without my underclothes on, right? And, get the freedom and whatever else. Um, but so I have a t-shirt and shorts that I prefer to sleep in, and I like to sleep barefoot, but I do not like to be cold. And evidently, the kind of MS I have, which it wasn't when I was diagnosed, I didn't come with words so that I have an extra understand. I don't know a good way to put it. Some people, they get diagnosed with certain kinds of MS, like I don't know what they're called. I was going to try to say a couple of names. I don't remember the words. But because I didn't get those extra terms along with mine, it was just MS. Um, I think that whatever kind I've got, however mine acts, I don't like, I don't mind being in the cold as long as I can get warm, but I don't like being cold for very long. And I don't like extreme heat either. So the extreme temperatures hard for me either direction. And the fact that I choose the smaller vehicles because I feel healthier when I'm forced to be outdoors more often. It's so simple, so easy for me to get myself inside a house and never go outdoors. I could stay in for months if I have all the stuff I need inside. It's not good for me. It's not healthy for me. So I don't want to be that kind of person. And when I had the bigger van, I found that as long as I had everything for the bathroom and enough food and a long leash for Ozzy, I didn't have to get out of the van until I had to get put gas in the gas tank. Was the only reason I had to get out because I could go in, go to the front, I could go to the back. That wasn't good for me, so I decided to not do that. And so yeah, PJs and a t-shirt. I mean a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, t-shirt, a pair of leggings. That's good enough for me. I mean, I'm good with that. But I like to take off the the bras and the panties that have elastic on them and whatever. I like to take those off. And oh, girls, I don't know when I can afford to do this, but soon in the next couple of months, um, I'm gonna order and try a merino bra. I've been looking at the Brawny company's big girl bra, and so I'm gonna try one, but it's expensive, so I'm holding off on that. Miss Alice, what were you asking me? Excuse me, guys. Yes, what? I don't know what it is either. Daddy, what is this? A charger. So. A charger? But I don't want to. Good morning, Mike. So, okay. So, okay, I'm working, sweetheart. What? It's a charger, yes. It looks like from the picture that it's a charger for your car. Okay. So you might need to keep it somewhere with your car. And if you're not going to keep it with your car, where are the electronics so you don't lose it? Do you remember? I know the numbers are right here. Okay. But remember, there's a drawer that has cords. If you want to put it somewhere, leave it in your car or put it in the drawer with the cords so you won't lose it. It would be horrible if you lost it. Okay? It wouldn't be good if you lose it. Okay, I got to go back. I got to work. Okay. So, so y'all, that little lesson in children have electronic cords for their things. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, I just made that not long ago. Okay. So Catherine and Homer, how are you guys making out? You going to spend the winter in Snowflake, it looks like? Hey, Bernie. Oh, I'm glad you came, Bernie. I didn't know. Are you in Puerto Rico already? I think you are. Yeah, Catherine, there are days when I stay in my pajamas all day long, too. Not so much when I'm actually car camping with the car. But I find that I do it more when there's more people around. And you're saying you do it when you're overloaded. That might be true. With me, I don't know. I do notice them when there's a lot of people around. If I start to feel any kind of anxiety or anxiousness, or I feel like I'm in somebody's way, even if it's not true, the crap that goes on in our head, that sometimes I'll just stay in my pajamas longer. Or if I get to the point where it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm still thinking about changing my clothes, I'm like, forget it. I'm just not doing it today. Yeah, I have somebody photobombing me. Yes, I do. Psychologically, you need PJs. There you go. I never really, got connected with pajamas and that kind of routine. I didn't even get. It's kind of weird, but for a lot of people, might sound weird. I didn't even get that kind of like routine thing with brushing my teeth. I do it every day, but I just never got. You have to do it before you go to bed, or you got to do it when you first wake up, stuff like that. And one of the reasons I think I didn't, my father never lost his baby teeth. So I never saw my father ever brush his teeth because he didn't have to. So he died with baby teeth. And yes, Kate. Hi, Kate. Well, I had silk thermals once, but they were definitely. I had gotten them on sale from an LL Bean or REI kind of place years ago. Um, they were on sale in the spring, right? Unfortunately, they were the thinnest, coolest, coolest as in warmest, thin layer of silk, like long johns I ever had. Unfortunately, you could see through them. And so rather than getting a pair of silk thermals that you can't see through, because these were like maybe $8 or something, I used them as long johns for quite some time, and they fit under clothes so well because they were so thin. But you could see through them, so I never really wore them as much. I finally got rid of them. I'd love to have a set of silk thermals that look like, that are opaque. Yeah, that you can't see through. Um, Become a trend for some families to wear their night clothes everywhere. Oh yeah, Walmart, right? You go into Walmarts now and everybody's in their fuzzy pajamas and their slippers, and I'm like, why? I don't understand. Different strokes, but I don't understand. And Walmart's the worst. Yep, I agree with you on that one, Shadow Wolf. Try to sleep in leggings and long sleeves and keep on underpants and shirt. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to take off the underclothes. I don't want any elastic pinching me when I'm sleeping. I don't want the bra strap getting twisted, you know, that kind of stuff. So for me, it's nice to take them off, but I do have kind of a process. Like I said, I wake up, I sit up. I don't do it when I'm in the house, like here. There's kids, there's family. So, I wait, I get up, then I go in the bathroom with my clothes and I do my thing, which is kind of, to me, is normal. Talk what? And on Sunday morning, I wake everybody up talking because
No,
I have y'all.
I was being smart out. Taking off clothes, that's $9.99 a minute.
Nine. Oh, you funny. Are you? Can you guys hear him? Um, Taking off clothes is $9.99 a minute. Okay, I like that idea. Yeah, pay me, boy. Okay, let's see. It's made it. Yeah, sorry about that, Bernie. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. So if you see me playing with things, with the go live things, and it's only out there for a couple of hours, that's probably what I'm doing is trying to figure out what made that happen and how do I stop it, right? Um, Chili chaser hikers use work great for you. Chili chaser hikers? I don't think I know what that is, but okay. Um, Silk is lightweight and warm, and yes, heartfelt, healthiest and bare skin. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Trying to decide how to talk about that. Maybe I'll just let that go. But in the summer, when it's warm out, there's nothing like real good quality linen sheets in warm weather, and nothing else. I'm just saying. Okay. um Oh yeah, I'd like George. Thanks, George and Tammy. Thanks for asking that. I'd like to know what was wrong with their van too, but I kind of think it was the connections. Some Walmart shoppers are ridiculous. Battery connectors were the problem. Thank you for Stan and Jeremy. Yeah, thank God for Stan and Jeremy. Yep. And didn't I tell you, Iris? You you emailed or something and asked me what do I have in my magic box or something, and I was like, I don't know, but it sounds like connections to me. So I'm so glad. Yeah. Oh, it's okay, Shadow Wolf. You can be old school. Do you have red what are they called? One piece long johns with the trap door. There you go. The what? Butt flap? A butt flap is what Mike's saying in the background. Mike's getting his coffee behind me. Y'all can wave at him and whatever. Uh, appreciate all the help you give us. Not too much information for you. Yeah, I know, Kenneth. I've heard your comments over the years. When I'm out in the summer wearing a skirt and doing some project like building chicken coops that year. Yeah, I don't know if it was you. Somebody was making comments on, I don't know why you think your clothes look fun. That's because of all the stupid troll comments I get off and on. You're old. Why are we looking at you? Okay, well, get over it. Whatever. Don't come looking. You know. Oh, and by the way, yes, this really is my hair. Who made that comment the other day somewhere? I can't remember where. It's not really your hair because the bottom of it's dark and the top of it's not so much. Trauma will do shit to you. Okay? It changes your hair. This is my hair. This is not even long yet. Normally my braids below my knees. Right? I just cut it a few times a few years back because life was too, I don't know what, and I wanted to change, so I cut it off. And every once in a while it gets heavy. Okay, let's see what else is. Sweatpants under your clothes. There you go. You know what? I just decided I don't really love the way, like Walmart or Family Dollar sweat suits, sweatpants, and sweatshirts look. But the other day I was thinking that on the way home, I'm going to need another set of kind of warmer clothes because I can't remember what I left at home. And I'm going to have to pick up some kind of boots because I don't think I have any boots at home. But anyways, and I got thinking about the fact that, at my age, people are doing sweatpants and sweatshirts. And I was like, you know what? I'll just buy just cheap old regular sweatpants for the I don't want to get dressed moments. And I'll probably get black ones, knowing me, unless they're not available. So, uh, and you know what? I, my clothes, I usually don't buy things. I have things that are more form fitting more often. So I couldn't put sweatpants inside some other pants. That wouldn't work for me. Works for you, don't knock it. Oh yeah, and the buggy. Yeah, because you are more a weekend warrior, Jeremy. That's true. But we may change that after a minute. We'll see. Speaking of weekend warrior stuff, Suzuki's Zooks of Arizona is having a Zuki get together thing. I can't remember the exact dates, but it's right around the 8th, December 8th and 10th, right around that. And it's going to be down in Surprise, Arizona, down near Phoenix, down east of Phoenix. There's a box canyon down in there that's kind of famous and stuff. They're going to go riding around down in there with the Zukis. I don't know how I'm going to maneuver that, but I'd love to go. So, Jeremy, we might want to go camping when I get back. Jeremy burned the bras. I don't know. At my age, you might not want them burned. Okay. Back in the day, it was different, but little age, things change.
Save the catapults.
What? Can y'all hear him? Oh, good Lord. Save the catapults. That's what he said. I get in a situation, panic, contact, Lesa, then slow down and figure things out. Oh, you know that's absolutely okay, Iris. I told you that's I didn't have somebody to hold my hand when things got sketchy, so I'll try to hold y'all's. That's I just do that. Well, I'm good. I'm glad I can't see how everybody's dressed right now either. Got to put it away so you know where it's at. Okay. Uh, had to walk my dog, so I'm at least covered up. There you go. Okay. Bernie, I'll be here. I came to be with Pam, and she just passed. That's right. Guys, do please remember Bernie in your prayers and whatever it is you do for your things with energy and whatever. Um, just lost her elderly grandmother, and she was rather elderly, which to me says she must have lived a good long life. And so I'm sure that that's painful. Grief is not an easy thing. So please remember her. Shadow Wolf, that's funny. When you go down a court site again, you're going to wear your Kiss Halloween costume, makeup and all. I think that's a great idea. That should be funny. I won't recognize you unless you're in your smart car. Uh, um, dogs are keeping your legs warm. That's nice. Oh, there's a skipperdoodle, eh? Skip. Skinny dipping is healthy. Building your cabin in the buff works. Yes, and yes, and yes. And I'm not sure how much about that state of undress I want to discuss from my lifetime, but I have moments of things, and it's another reason to have the piece of property so rural. Um, I know I can hear somebody that's coming my direction if they're driving. And most everybody knows that in our neighborhood, in our general vicinity, right, Skip? Most every, or Skip or Doodle, most everybody knows call first because you never know what stage of dress or undress people might be in. I mean, I love taking my showers outside. And if I'm in a place where I can, why put a curtain up? You know. Okay. Shadow Wolf, please let me know when you're there in queue. I've got to see that, right? Uh, uh, Beth, I believe when Skipper Doodle was doing that, he was building the entire cabin inside and outside. And I learned that if I couldn't get the phones to work, that as I was going down the driveway, beep a couple of times. It helps. uh, what's the dress code in quartzite? That's funny. Yeah, not really any dress code in quartzite. Come on. Uh, Chili Chasers, the mark of the top and bottom I use when. Oh, okay. You bought it in Illinois. Yeah, I just don't know the ones Chili Chasers, but I know what's the ones that you finally could get them at Walmart? What's the name of them? I can't think of the name of them. But they're women's long johns basically. Cuddle duds. They used to be hikers things too, and they're not as they're hunt hunters wear cuddle duds. Well, women hunters and outdoor people, um, but they're good looking, and I think they're like fleece or something. You know, a lot like the shirt I'm wearing. But this is not a cuddle dud. But it is a good brand. They're just not as lightweight as like ultra light hikers would have something. Yeah, union suit. There you go. Nickels and dimes added up. Did battery terminals at battery, was playing with my new scanner and reset factory defaults. Wonderful. Oh, you could hurt here, Mike, with the catapults. Okay. Some of you are a lot smaller than me in the bra department. I just gotta say that. Who's the actress that it's not Selena Gomez. Who is it? What one of those girls, anyways. One of the pretty famous actresses has pretty good sized girls as well.
Angelina Jolie.
No, she's tiny. No, she's a Latino girl. I can't think of her name, but anyway, and it's common knowledge. Us bigger girls, we can't get rid of ours. We try.
Selma Hayek.
Might have been her, yes. Selma Hayek, probably her. Anyway, yeah. So I'm never going to be able to get rid of mine, but I would love to. Men's silk thermals to just slip in your PJ style and pee without removing them. There you go. Yep, yeah. What's that? Some me songs. Oh, you funny, Shadow Wolf. Gonna break out the shovel guitar and do some me songs around the campfire. Okay, there you go. Oh yeah. Okay, that's a deal. When we're both down there together, and then we'll do some videos and get some more views. Okay. And ski pants to block wind. Yes. Yeah, Cuddle Duds were great. And they're not that, yeah, Dolly Parton too. Oh yeah. But she had hers made. Her girls were not natural. Mine are natural. But whatever. Yeah, Cuddle Duds are great. Just they're not as lightweight as some other things you can get if you're into. Okay, so I have this other saying about travel light and often. And so as I start to upgrade my clothes, I am trying to get some things like cashmere, alpaca, merino wool, ultra lightweight, easy to keep clean, don't stink, can wear forever, stuff like that. I already have uh, my wool socks. I do this every time I go to talk about those wool socks. I see Vermont in my head, but I can't think of the name of them. Anyways, they're good hiking socks. I have some of those. I just didn't bring them with me because I was only supposed to be gone 3 weeks. I was never supposed to be here 5 months. So we haven't talked about that update. So well, maybe we did talk about it a little bit, but the alternator should be here Monday, maybe.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking, then I'm waiting for one Amazon package. I'm thinking I can leave Wednesday. It will be a careful travel because, as most of you know, the rear end, meaning the differential, the rear outer bearings. Did I say it right, Mike?
Yes, you did. You got that.
They are not good in this car. The differential fluid, when Mike took a look at it, he drained a little to see, has metal in it. And so we have been in communication with Stan and Jeremy at the shop. And I have Jeremy on speed dial in case something happens. And my friends that I went to Baja with, Melinda and Jason, are somewhere north of here. They were going to spend 2 nights, might not have had cell phone communication. And then they're coming this way to go on the highway that passes here to go south toward Death Valley. So it might work out that I can kind of travel near them. And Jason is a mechanic as well. I don't know how much I could travel near them, but it's possible. So let's, pray, cross things, whatever it is we want to do about that possibility, just for the extra level of safety factor. Most everybody I knew that was down in Pahrump has already left to go wherever they were going. I will take that southern route and go down through the Pahrump because it'll be warmer. And I don't know if I'm ready to sleep in this car because I haven't packed it yet. And I'm not, but I have a tent with me and I could put a tent out. And I don't know how many days I want to do going home. I really just kind of want to go, but there's snow on the other end. Darn tough. Thank you so much, Donna. I couldn't think of that. So that's kind of where that stuff is at. Probably leaving Wednesday. We could we could pray that that Amazon package comes early. It says it's moving around Oregon right now. So I had looked this morning. And so with it moving around Oregon, the chances of it being here Monday or Tuesday are pretty good. So maybe that could come Monday or Tuesday and I could get out of here. I love these guys. We've become friends. Mike's still my mechanic. He's gonna fix the white tracker. Let's talk about some of that in a second. Let me check you guys' questions again. Um, Cuddle Duds, I saw that one. So let's go up here. Then Dolly Parton, I got that comment. Breathe in Fire will definitely get me some YouTube views. I bet it will. She's sure. Oh, Dolly, right. A comment about Dolly. She even has an air pump to pump them up for concepts. Yeah, I mean for concerts. Yes, I do think she does. And yes, she kind of crazy, but she crazy in a business sense because that girl has made plenty of money and had a lot of fun in her life. So good on her.
She's got run flats. They'll never go low.
I know you guys can hear him. And you mechanic guys know what run flats are. So I'm not even gonna. He just said something about that. Okay, a question from Kenneth. Now, with all these mood pills, do you know you could pass one out to any uninvited suitor to make them think they're okay? I guess you could, but yeah, I don't usually do things like that. Whatever. But I know how to get the cast iron fry pan out in a heartbeat. Um, okay. Thumbs up as we have 34 people. So, George, by you saying that, I've had to look up 34 people. Welcome, all of you, and thank you for being here. If you guys want to say hi to me, I'll try to say hi back if I see your name. Um, I'm glad you're here. Please like, subscribe, all those other kind of things that other people have to say. I do have super chats and super thanks if you'd like to do that. I also have Cash App. I am going to, and I might need some help, but I'm not begging because I also have a payday coming up this coming Friday, and I'll probably be okay. I'll probably make it. I might be squeezing pennies and making them scream. But at the same time, I'm probably going to be okay. We're going to talk about this a little more in a second because I do have an idea about a way to talk about that more. But just because there's so many new people out here, also having 6,000 people after I started the channel in 2004, we have 6,000 people finally. How cool is that? We could grow. I think it's Beth. Correct me if I'm wrong, Beth, but I think it's Beth who got me showed me something somebody else was doing on, I think it's Van Life, Van City or something, one of those guys that's a friend of Chrome's up in Canada, up in BC, Canada. um his Patreon channel, evidently he did $1 memberships for every different level. I might do that because I'd like to kind of do something like that. but I don't want anybody who doesn't have income to not have access. So, okay. So let me get back up in here, see what y'all are saying, and then run flats. Yeah, Jeremy, you caught that one. Uh cool. Yeah, I'm at least gonna take it through the Pahrump thing, getting into Arizona. But from there, the quickest way to get to my place is to go across I-40. I'm gonna have to watch the weather because Flagstaff can be kind of crazy and I-40 can be crazy if it's snowing and icy. I have been on I-40 when they close the highway behind me and the semis are just sliding off the highway. So and probably Shadow Wolf knows about that as long as he was a trucker. But I'll just have to watch and choose, but I need to be careful because of the rear end. In the blue car, I need to be careful of how many steep hills I'm going up. And if I go the more southern route, which would put me the closest, shortest distance southern route, would put me down near Sedona, Cottonwood, and then I've got to do some mountain passes. And so it might not be worth it. It might be better to stay up on I-40. I haven't even asked Mike about that. I also thought of a question for Mike the other day that I didn't ask yet, and I'm turning around to say it. But I wondered if I need to be careful with that rear end of how cold it is, temperature wise,
I wouldn't be worried about the cold because the colder it is, the longer you're going to be able to travel because you won't be overheating
because
the
it won't
tires.
overheat the rear end. Okay. All right. So if you guys heard that, his answer was be, because that rear end will get heated up, I can travel longer if it's colder, more or less. So okay. But I had thought of that yesterday when it was real cold here. We thought we were getting snow here. We didn't get any yet, but the mountains, I'll snap you all some pictures that I'll be able to put on videos. But there's snow on the mountains real close by, but we haven't had snow here yet. We've had snow flurries, but it didn't stay. Um, yes, very nice that Jason and Melinda might be able to travel near me, with me, something. If they're willing, if they're doing a stop in Death Valley, it's kind of on the way. I would risk, taking longer to get home because I know that I'm safe and he's a pretty master mechanic himself. So I wouldn't feel I would feel more safe if they want to do some extra playing around and they don't care if I'm near them. I would camp out and do some extra things down in there. That's a possibility, anyways. Okay, let me look again. Yeah. Amazon. Yes, I have an Amazon wish list. I do update that periodically. Whatever you purchase for me on my wish list, not on my Amazon store, but in the wish list, if you're buying me a gift, those are all addressed to go to the cabin. And so I don't always get a heads up on that, but I do update the list off and on. I try to make sure it has things like, I have a replacement shirt like this in there. I have a I think I have a winter jacket in there that is not down because I'm allergic to down. And it was cheap. It was like 60. I'm saying cheap, cheapish, $60. I put things in there that are
Yeah,
like
we can get you some.
$10. I don't really know how to do the Amazon gift card thing in that wish list. I couldn't figure it out. So I put in these Amazon gift tags that were $10. And once you click on them, you can choose what to do. And so I just went, if somebody was to send me those, they'd go to my post office box or something. I don't know. So, but that's how I've handled that because I understand that at the end of the year, people who don't believe like I do have a big thing about buying people Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And over the years, every once in a while, somebody has gotten me something. So I allow you to have a list of things that I am interested in. And then, things that I've used. I need to update all my I bought this. This worked. This thing's a piece of crap. Don't bother with it. I need all those reviews on Amazon. I need to do. All right, let me get down here. Mike's a mechanical comedian. Yeah, sometimes he is. And Beth, cast iron fry pans leave a lasting impression. Absolutely.
Depends on who you are. That
Hi,
could work like.
hi, BJ. Her Shadow Wolf, the ARB patch kit for Dolly Parton's. Okay, okay. Uh, and Shadow Wolf, congrats on the sub count. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah, Shadow Wolf does know way too much about Dolly's girls. Yeah. Every time someone new interviews you, you somehow always make it so interesting. You know what? I'm the talker person. I am not the filming person. I could, I, the interview thing is, I like it. It's simple. I love telling stories. I love to be able to, go through that process. The filming and the computer work, I know how. I was a tech. I've teched both PCs and Macs. I have probably, according to Mike, I have more skill than most people my age. He thought it was odd that I knew what I knew. No, but it's not my forte. And when I was an artist, when I was younger, okay, I should reword that, but I have been a visual artist in my lifetime. And when I was younger, I was an oil painter. And then I was a fashion designer. I've done all kinds of things. And I like the creative process. I'm really good at telling stories. And once I learned how to write, I almost flunked English 101 in college. I never graduated from college, but I went to college. And I almost flunked 101. It was like the very last assignment. They said, if you don't get this one, you got to do this over again. And I was like, oh, great. So I stressed and stressed for 2 weeks. The night before the thing was due, I figured out how to write something. I love to write because it's like painting. It's like you just have to like get the steps right and tell the story in the right order, and then people. It's like the picture just shows up, and so I like that. But yeah. So I've been thinking about switching some of my other videos to being more podcast like. And so that's very possible that I will do podcast in the future. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Shadow Wolf, you did transport some of those people. I think you told me some of those stories. Um, you're in your trucking days, you did some of those big band things, so you would have known. Um, uh, Looking at Mary Little, looking at taking 395 north. Okay, not sure. I haven't. Um, okay, ask Mike and Jeremy. I just bought a set of tires and rims, but they're a little bit bigger bolt pattern. What's their opinion on getting a?
No
I think,
adapters, no spacers.
yeah, no adapters, no spacers. Oh, the Jeep already has inch spacers already. It's a Liberty. I'd say get the spacers off of there, right?
Get spacers and go with offset wheels.
Offset rims, wheels. That's what we're going to do to my white tracker before I get it back. Even if it takes me an extra month in order to do this, I already told Mike I want offset rims, offset wheels.
And the reason why I won't ever use spacers because I've had a buddy lose his wheel down the highway.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I know that
the spacer broke, not the wheel.
Right, but the spacer itself broke. Yeah. So, George, I would have known to give you that answer because I've heard it from lots of my friends, and I know that you guys don't have much money and you're hunting for ways to just make things work. But I think if your safety's at risk, it's not worth it. So maybe you can turn around and sell them to somebody else who has the right size things. Um, uh, Beth, you're talking about the after December 25th sales are good, and that your schoolmate, your daughter's schoolmate, was Russian Orthodox, and their Christmas is a week after December 25th. They always got their tree for free and got really strange looks, but I bet they had good presents because of the sales afterwards. Tiny, start with getting the right rims for the tires. And for the love of God, get rid of the spacers. Spacers are a guaranteed failure, especially if you do any kind of aggressive drive. Thank you, Jeremy. That's a really great answer, too. So I think we're kind of caught up with that stuff. Let me switch my gears. Y'all keep asking your questions. Please use those three uppercase cues so I can notice them when I'm talking and I'm thinking about something else. If I see those cues, I'll go back to them so, and try to answer your questions. But what I want to talk to you about is so I've had lots of time to process what's been happening and how my life has been taken a different turn than I thought I wanted it to take. I love travel, period. I love to move around, period. I don't like to sit still any longer than 3 months. 3 months can be painful for me. So that doesn't mean I can't be near one area or something. But I have this tendency to just want to go and do and see something different and explore a little bit. And, my comfort level is not in staying home every night and living in the same place for the next 50 years. I've never been like that. So home was not always the safest place to me growing up. And so I learned that it was really safe out in the woods and talking with the animals out in the woods, whether the animals talk back or not. But in the fall, sitting on the ground in southern Maine beside a little babbling brook of water and talking to the same squirrel family that I've seen for the last 3 weeks just felt natural to me. So that's kind of where my love of nature probably grew from that when I was pretty small. So, or pretty young. Small and young, two different things, right? Um, anyway, so it's a lot of things have gone through my mind in this last 5 months, and some of the big ones were, how come this is happening this way? When I left Costa Rica to come back home, the big thing that was on my mind at that time was I was so sick of people saying it's the gringa's fault. She doesn't understand Spanish. Well, that I understood my Spanish just fine. That wasn't a problem. Um, or getting gringo priced, you know, because I knew enough Spanish. The person sitting beside me is getting one price for their dinner or for their groceries, and I'm getting charged 3 times that price. And I'm like, yeah, this I'm just sick of. I'm always different, and the difference is just who I am, and I can't change it. It's just that I was born in this other country and whatever. And something was happening in the States, and I was like, I just want to go where somebody gets my jokes and where I can relax a little bit and I'm not blamed so much for being the odd man out or something. And so I wanted to come home, but I knew I didn't have a home because my birth family had already moved away from the town I was raised in. They moved from Maine to Virginia. When they made that move, they made it very clear to me. They might have made it clear to a couple other family members as well. I'm not sure. But I'm the one that doesn't have contact. They made it clear that I was no longer family. that when they moved, I was history and didn't get to go with. So I had just turned 17. And that was around the time that I tried to commit suicide a couple of times. Yes, absolutely has happened in my life. And no, I never tried it again after that because I felt like I was too stupid to do it right the first time. So maybe God didn't want me to do that. So I got this other idea in my head. But just so but those things have gone back through my thoughts again, like, okay, so that was a big life change that somebody else made, and so I don't have home to go to, as in people that I'm connected with, nor a location. But I was familiar enough with the Appalachian Trail, and I didn't want to come back and just be a homeless person in the United States. That sucks just as bad as being gringo priced or being the gringa being blamed for everything in another country. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to be looked at as homeless. So I think what I'll do is I'll gear up. I always wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail. I understand the woods. I can talk to a squirrel. I can walk. My legs work. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I hiked on the Appalachian Trail. That was in 2011, 2010, 11. And then I ended up having to go back to Costa Rica to save money in order to buy a van because the whole long distance hiking thing, I kept getting sick. And we didn't know at that point that I had food allergies, nor did we know, or mold allergies, and nor did we know that I had MS. I didn't know. But I kept stubbing my toe on rocks and going, how come I can't pick my freaking feet up? What is wrong with me? Right? Anyway, so I went back to Costa Rica, saved some more money, sent that money to someone who stole the money, basically, and bought me a piece of junk van that I had to fix. And so there ensued the vehicle issues. Now, prior to this, in 2004, when I first was on disability and I moved to New York City, I had decided I'm done with vehicles. I want to always live in a place where I can walk or take public transportation. I just don't want to pay Middle Eastern countries for oil based on me because I don't need to. Well, in the United States, that doesn't work well. So then I figured out, well, okay, well, if I'm not going to be in a different country and I'm coming back to the States, I'm going to have a car because otherwise I'm homeless and people are weird to homeless people. Long distance hikers, they're no better too because I've had people throwing beer cans at, or beer bottles, that hurts, at me from pickup trucks. So yeah, because I had a backpack. And I was a long distance hiker. I wasn't homeless, right? But it just, these things come with stuff. So I was like, yeah, yeah. But so I keep thinking about all this stuff and about how I'm still paying on a loan that I had it down to $300, and then something happened to a car, and I put more money on it. And so 15 months from now, I will have that loan finally paid off and I'll be back to debt free. So the goal is to get to debt free without putting any more money on that loan. I want debt free back really, really bad. So in 15 months, what can I get done between now and 15 months? Well, I'm going to get these two vehicles working well, and I'm going to work on my gear, which I have my gear in pretty good shape. But I'm going to work on having my gear in a stage where, when I want to go travel, if I want to just get on a plane and go to another country, that it's easier for me to do that. So that's probably what I'm aiming for in the next 15 months. Because this whole, I wanted to do vehicular based travel, which is overlanding. Wanted to take the tracker all the way up to Prudhoe Bay, which is the Arctic Circle, turn around and come back and do the Pan American Highway. Well, there's a lot of expense and the whole mechanic things involved. And so I'm not sure how that's going to look. But at least having gone through the thought process, I can start to say, all right, I'm 65 this year. By the time 15 months rolls around, I'll be 66. Most people are still rocking in their 70s, a lot of people I know. So I'm just going to keep working toward the things I love. And the things I love are the ultralight travel, the travel, the events, and growing the channel and the Amazon store so that it helps me with my income. Because by the time I'm 67 and I can actually be on old age Social Security, not disability Social Security, then I can earn whatever money I want to earn. Right now, I'm limited because of the title I came in under when I was put on disability in 2004. That's that. So, okay. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but it will develop over time. And you guys will get to be in on all of that stuff, including, I really need to work on my clothes. I really, I've done pretty good with most of my things, but sleeping bags wear out over time. They get holes in them. You patch them. I patch things. You patch them enough, and then you get tired of patching. And but I've and like this blue shirt, you guys are always telling me how good I look in this blue shirt. This blue shirt, I think I got from a thrift store in 2010. That's a long freaking time ago. And so some of these things, a little at a time, I need to upgrade. All right, so let's see what's going on up here. I see some more comments. Uh-oh. I saw white privilege. What was that about? All right, let's go back up here. All right, we did that. Getting the right rims. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thumbs up. Out in the woods is always better. I agree. Okay. You guys are still talking about that. You have the wrong rims on, and you were trying to get Jeep rims, but they're the wrong ones. Let's see if we can't find you the right rims at one time, because I had a lot of trouble finding rims when I had that Jeep product vehicle I had that was such a piece of POS. Um, yeah, let's see if we can't get you better rims. Yeah, it really is hard to get out of debt. I've been debt free 2 or 3 times since I've been on disability. It was my goal. When I got my retroactive first check from disability, I paid off all my debt, everything. And I had 20 bucks left over. And at that time in 2004, you could still have a pizza delivered for 20 bucks. So, where the house I was staying at, I bought those people a pizza for dinner. That's how I started my life on disability, because I that's always been a big goal for me, and I feel so free when I own a small amount of things that work well, and when I am debt free. The freedom is incredible. Hi, I can't see the name really well. I think it's Soul J16. Hi, welcome, new fan. Saw the video on Simply RVN. Said you do live videos on Sundays. Yep. Searched and boom, here I am. Wonderful. I know there's a lot of information in that hour-long interview with Tristan over on SUVRVN. So welcome, and I hope you come back. Yeah, Catherine. Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that I'm welcome to camp on the ranch down there if I needed to. But honestly, um, Snowflake is so close to the cabin. I'd probably rather go to the cabin because I have the freedom to kind of temperature I want it because I have the wood stove and everything. And as long as I'm not stuck, I have been there before when, because of weather, I couldn't get in and out for up to 5 weeks. That right now feels like that would be a challenge for me, which is one reason why I chose to take this blue car and risk it to go home with a different vehicle because it will give me the freedom to come and go. But I have neighbors who are like family, who love me and will help me if anything happens. I'm still mobile enough and everything else, even with my MS. Uh, I know I'm capable of grabbing a backpack and hiking out. It's not that far to get out to a road where somebody could pick me up if I needed it. And so I appreciate you guys' offers. And if it was necessary, I absolutely would take you up on it. If I was over in Snowflake Taylor at that Walmart or shopping or something like that, and a big storm came up unexpectedly, I would so come out and camp with y'all. I wouldn't even give it a second thought because I've been stuck on the way home and had to sleep in the car halfway home. So, and and home, y'all got to take that as a relative thing. It's not the average cabin. It's a dry cabin. I'm camping there the same way I camp in my trackers or in my thing. It's just that there's walls and a wood stove to keep me out of the weather. So there's no running water. There's no big power system. I don't want them because then it would be easier for somebody to break in and vandalize it or something. And so there's nothing like that there. Um, but it is livable and it is legal with my county. I always check that periodically. So, I tell you this a lot. So, see you later, Mary. It's nice to see you today. Okay, we're almost at an hour and a half. Do we have more questions today? I don't know if I'm more. Yes, Mary. That is part of how I keep my costs down too. I only need the one set of things because I use them in the car and I use them and I use them when I'm at the cabin. So I only need one set of things, not two sets of things, or however many. Um, the same blankets I use to sleep at the cabin are the ones I use to sleep in the car. The same water system for taking a shower, same thing. Yes, I have a bigger water tank there, but um, and if my power, even my solar kits, if they're portable, they're with me. I don't have to worry about somebody stealing them while I'm gone. And I didn't have to put $10,000 or more into, or $8,000 into a system at the cabin because I don't need that because I kind of rock old school, right? I, um, sure, there are things I wouldn't love it if somebody went up there and stole the wood stove. I'd probably be pretty pissed because it would be hard for me to replace it. But at the same time, it's not a furnace. It's not a, I don't know what, but it's easier for me to replace that than it is to replace other things. So I guess I pick and choose what I'm willing to live with because I know what I can handle. And on my income being low, most people in the United States, especially, you can't have both a physical location and a vehicle on my income. Most people can't handle that. It's not built into the system that way. So I feel really blessed that I'm able to have what I have. And yes, I'm willing to share it to a point, but I've already been through trying to share it and it backfiring really bad. So I've learned. I'm not I'm not young, so I've learned some stuff. Uh, even just if you stop by on the way up to somewhere. Yes, Catherine. And yes, Catherine, that's a very, I may stop on the way. I may stop as I'm going shopping. I might check in with you and just say, do you want to ride with me? And then we can visit in the car. You know, we've done that before. Looking to go back to stock rims. I'm hearing you guys. So you've slept in your pickup often when you're traveling for work. The sun is getting in my eyes. Trying to save the most money because what did it say? I think it jumped on me. Because inflation, right? LOL. Totally works well as long as you're in a pretty well lit, safe place. Yeah, yes. Although I don't have too much trouble, but depending if you're in a town or a city, yeah. You know, choosing where you're gonna sleep overnight. And I tend to do it more that way. Uh, some people call it stealth camping, but come on, it's the old be smart about sleeping somewhere and, you know, overnight, one night. What's the big deal? Even Walmart, most of their signs say limited to 24 hours. Well, go take a freaking nap and then move. You know, just follow the rules as much as you can. Jeep makes 5 bolt patterns on different sizes. Yes, they do, George. Jeep's a whole thing. Jeremy, hard fact about not having items of value during a break in is they tend to vandalize in retaliation for not getting items of value. That is a point, but you know what? Where I'm at, all I ask is um, if you need it, take it and use it. And don't smear poop on my walls, okay? Because I know people who did that back in the 60s because they were mad they didn't, or they were using drugs or something. I don't know. But, anyways, you know, don't break the windows so the rats won't get in and destroy it. And don't smear poop on things. You know, come on. If you need it, take it, use it. But if I have less, I have less to be worried about. Yeah, everybody have an awesome day. You too, uh, uh, Shadow Wolf, you have a great day. I'm going to get ready here and go soon. I'll hit our I'll hit our place up come Monday. They're in Phoenix. Might be. Oh, okay. That's Jeremy talking to George. Okay. Okay. And a stop platform. Okay. And we'll love taking a drive with you. I know you do, Catherine, and we'll see what we can do about that. Okay, so that smeared poop comment. My grandmother, when she got elderly, she lived in York, Maine before they put the big highway through, and they took her house for the highway. So her house had been a sheetrock, no, a tar paper shack. And then my dad and mom built her another cottage on another piece of land. Then she started having real big health issues. She was a large woman. And so she would spend part of her year at her little cottage and part of the year in Massachusetts with one of my aunts. Well, while she was gone with one of the aunts and before she died, somebody broke into her cottage and they ate all the food, threw all the blankets all over the place, and smeared poop all over the walls. And so that's that I can't get that out of my head. I just, go eat my food. I don't care, but don't smear poop on the walls and don't break my freaking windows, okay? Because I can't afford a window. So that's where that's coming from. Y'all hearing that? Yep. Yes, thank you guys for being here with me today. I hope you're getting something you want out of the Sundays, but this is what we do. Ask questions, we'll help support each other. Y'all pray for each other this week, or if you know me well, you know that I say those terms. What I mean for me is one thing. What you do for you hear the term and you do what works for you. Okay. If you just, put out there good positive thoughts for people, wonderful, do it. Okay. But like I just spilled coffee all over my hand. Um, but like Bernie's elderly, she was 92 or 96. Her grandmother just passed. She's going to be going through the grieving process. That's challenging. You know, Tammy and George just went through a health scare and pack rats, and um, and and George is trying to figure out those rims so that they're safer when they use that vehicle. Candy and Rick found something to do down in New Mexico. Once their schoolie engine blew, they decided to buy a piece of land. Well, they were on their land for a while and they were having a challenging time with knowing what to do with themselves and living in very tight quarters, and they love pit bulls, and so they kept rescuing big dogs, but they didn't have any space to move around. And I went to visit, and then I got stuck down there last year. And then we started, and I helped them figure out a yard and to fence their yard bigger so the dogs had a place to run. And over time, what they've done is they worked it out with their local church. They now run the food bank in that area. So I'm so happy that for them that they found a focus and that it's working for them. And so, you know, remember them. Um, and come back next Sunday and join us again. And let's see what kind of trouble conversations we can get into next week. Y'all have a great week. Enjoy. If you're thinking about me early in the week, the alternator is going to go in. We're hoping that Mike doesn't have any trouble with that and that he gets a couple other projects pulled together because he'd like to get paid. He's had so much trouble getting parts here, but a whole mess of parts came. They look right, but then one of the vehicles he's trying to work on, the something is rusted together, and he's having trouble getting that out. So remember that in your thoughts. And I don't know what else. But y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Ciao.